Do you want to start working on your car but you're not really sure what tools you're going to need? Well, today I'm going to run you through the ultimate starter pack on what tools you should buy to get into it. So when I first started getting into cars and looking after cars, it was all about the cleaning. So you're talking about your glass cleaners, your tire shines, your plastic protectors, detailers, and so on. So this is really what I started getting into for the first couple of years, really looking after the car and keeping it, visually anyway, in great condition. But you'll only get so far on that before you sort of get the itch to do more. And that sort of gets you into oil changes, basic maintenance, and things like that. So this group of tools here was my original toolkit for many, many years before I started buying a lot more things, because really with tools, the sky is the limit. But I reckon if you have all of the tools here in this pile, it's gonna go a long way in helping you do a lot of jobs here in the garage. So, socket sets. I started off with a 3/8 socket set, and it wasn't a fancy Stanley one like this. It was a piece of shit, let's be honest. It was cheap, and the reason I'd recommend a 3/8 socket set is because it's a happy medium. A 1/4" socket set can be a little bit too small sometimes, and then a 1/2" socket set can be huge. So this sits right in the middle, and it's a good size for many, many jobs on your car. You can work in the engine bay, you can work on the interior, all sorts of things. So a 3/8 socket set, this is a Stanley one. I think it was about $100 from Bunnings, but you can get them cheaper, but it does pay to spend a little bit more and get a sort of semi-decent set, because it's going to last and go the distance if you do so, especially with the ratcheting mechanism on the sort of wrench or whatever you call it itself. So get yourself a 3/8 socket set. And one of the easiest jobs to get into on a car is an oil change. So you can get yourself an oil filter removal tool. That's a good one to have. And then you've got your sort of run-of-the-mill tools. So a flathead and a Phillips screwdriver, get really good ones. These are the original ones which I've had for over 10 years. So it pays to get good ones as per the socket set. From there, it is handy to have an adjustable wrench or shifter in a sort of middle ground size. You can get a couple of sizes if your budget allows. A set of needle nose pliers is handy to have. And of course, a decent set of spanners too. So you don't need to go crazy with the size of the kit. If it goes from sort of 8mm down to probably 16 or 18, it's probably going to do the majority of the work. So get yourself a spanner set. Set of vice grips, these are handy to have. Sometimes you need to cut things, so a set of snips, whatever you call these things, I'll put it on screen if I can remember. They're handy to have from time to time. And of course, a trim removal tool set. So this is just one trim removal tool, but you can buy these in a pack of about 7 or 8 different tools. So these are great when you're getting into your car's interior, accessing behind trims and panels and things. They're good to have. And if you are getting into the interior of your car, you might want to do some electrical work and wiring work. A set of wire strippers is a handy thing to have too. So that is your basic kit. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the comments section saying, you missed this tool, you missed that tool, they would be nice to have as well. But for me, it came down to budget. So straight away, there's probably $500 at least worth of tools here in this pile. And that is a fairly big outlay for some people. So as I mentioned, I ran this kit, well, this style of kit for many, many years. Once you need to branch out from that, you can go for electrical tools like this impact driver, which are great for wheel nuts and a whole lot of other things. There are ratcheting tools as well. I probably spent $250 to $300 just for these pair. So they are nice to have, but by no means are they essential. And then from there, it's good to also have torque wrenches and things like that. You can also get pry bars and hammers. They're good to have. And also the other 2 socket sets to complete the set. So this is a 1/4" socket set, nice and small for little interior jobs and in fiddly areas. And also this is the 1/2" socket set. So these are the big guns for the real sort of hard yakka stuff. So I am pretty fortunate, I believe, to have sort of amassed this group of tools, and there are many more. I've got deep sockets for those sort of long boy bolts and things like that. Lots of different sizes of different things. I've got another torque wrench here as well, a smaller 1/4" one. This is a 1/2" one. So you can start to sort of realize later on what are the deficiencies in your tool setup Just start small. If you're not sure, and you can sort of do your research, once you come across a problem that you don't know how to beat, work out what tool you need, go and get them, finish the job, and after quite a few jobs, you will have amassed everything you need. And that's even before we get to all the consumables, which I've got in these cupboards here, things like engine oils, coolants, all sorts of stuff. You need to do your research on what car you have, what fluids it takes, what do you need to buy, in what quantities, and all of that. So it is a lot of fun, but don't be overwhelmed. If you're just starting out, start small. That's all I can say. Oh, and there's one more thing. Can of WD-40, because if you're working on old bangers like I do, chances are there's going to be a lot of nuts and bolts which are going to be seized on, and a penetrating fluid like this is really going to help you get them off. So that's about it, guys. It doesn't take much to sort of get into working on your own car. Not to mention the fact that you can save yourself a lot of money if you sort of do your own oil changes, perform little fixes, and take care of things that are starting to bug you. If there's a piece of interior trim that's rattly, you might be able to take it off and sort of put it back on and fix it on a bit better. You can replace bulbs, you can flush the coolant, you can do all sorts of things. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this to be educational. If you're a seasoned pro and you think there should be an additional tool or two in my starter pack here, do throw it in the comments below, and do check those comments out for more advice. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.